Hi YouTubers, welcome to the Ultimate QA Bootcamp. In this video, we will talk about definition of QA, how QA fits into the software engineering field, and as well as a career path for QA in the United States, and especially in New York City area. People who does not know what QA mean or who are not in the technology field may confuse QA with Q&A. Just to clarify for those folks, QA does not mean question and answer. So what does QA actually mean? QA stands for quality assurance. Particularly in this video, we will focus on what it actually means in the technology field. So quality assurance is an activity that makes sure that an organization is providing the best possible product or service to its customers. In the rapidly changing field of software development, QA has become an integral part. You can just be in the QA field and build a professional career. You can start your career as a QA analyst or a junior QA engineer and work your way up to a managerial or director position. However, director and senior director of QA engineering titles can only be found in big companies and not in the startup world. Now let's take a look at the average salary of different QA roles in New York City area. As a QA analyst who is a recent graduate with a degree in technology field and has a decent communication skill should expect a salary between $65,000 to $75,000 per year. Then, if you also have learned some type of automation tool such as Selenium and have a knowledge of one programming language such as Java, you should expect a salary between $75,000 to $95,000. If you have been working in QA engineering role for a few years and you have knowledge of a few different automation tools and framework, you can become a senior QA engineer and expect to earn around $95,000 to $100,000. Now, in the startup scene of New York City area, the most common first hire for a QA team is the lead QA engineer or the QA manager position. The person hired for this role is expected to know different aspects of software development skills and also has an ability to create any automation framework for web or mobile application from ground up. The salary range varies from $100,000 all the way up to $150,000. Now, the director of QA role is often a title that can only be found in big companies where the person is expected to manage multiple teams of manual and automation QA engineers and also, if applicable, both on and offshore QA teams. The director of QA salary goes all the way up to $200,000 per year. So where does QA fit in the software development life cycle? As we all know, software development life cycle generally consists of a few different phases, which includes requirement, design, coding, testing, and finally deployment and maintenance. As a QA engineer, testing is the phase where you will usually belong. However, QA engineers are pretty much involved from the very beginning of software development in order to create test plans and test cases. On a typical day, this is how a QA engineer would think. A developer's job is to build a software and QA's job is to find loopholes in it and find ways to break it. As a QA engineer, you will spend most of your time writing test plans, test cases, and perform different types of manual testing. Once you have knowledge on how to test it, you would create test scripts to run automation tests on a regular basis. A test plan is a formal document or a planning meeting which usually happens before any project launch. Usually in this type of meetings, different stakeholders such as developers, product managers, QA, and designers would sit down and scope out a plan for testing. A typical test case consists of a test number, a description of the intended test, an expected and an actual result, and a comment section to write down any specific note about the test. Usually, each project can have hundreds of test cases depending on the complexity of the project. There are many types of manual tests, such as functional, regression, integration, to name a few. I will go over some of these in a different video. You may ask now, okay, I understand there's so many different types of manual tests, but why do we even test? Because you want to give your customers the best possible product so they can feel like they're on a smooth scenic train ride. Also, you really don't want to be in this situation where you are fixing bugs on your live website while someone is using your product. Think about an airline booking website where someone is trying to book a flight and the system breaks down. Now let's talk about bugs. We all have heard about bugs. I am not talking about this bug. I am talking about software bugs. For example, when you're trying to reset your password and you get an error, or trying to visit a page and it says it does not exist, or maybe even a button that breaks into two lines. So what does a QA engineer do when they find a bug? Each bug or an issue goes through a life cycle. After a bug is found, usually they would try to reproduce it. Once bug is confirmed, it goes to a developer. Once it's fixed, it goes back to the QA to verify the fix. Once fix is confirmed, it is released to the public and the issue is closed. Now let's talk about automation testing. But you may ask, why automate? Because manual testing of all workflows, all fields, and all negative scenarios would be very time consuming. Automation testing does not require human interaction, therefore can be run overnight. It increases test coverage, the scripts can be reusable. Automation testing allows to run tests on multiple devices and multiple browsers at the same time, which manually would be impossible to do so. There are different types of automation testing tools. Currently, the most popular ones are Selenium, Appium, Cypress, etc. We will go through each of these tools in a later video. Hope this video gives you an idea of quality assurance in technology field in general. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please stay tuned for upcoming videos on manual and automated testing.